beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lula and I draw. For this video, I thought it would be fun to redesign one of my old characters. Her name is Celeste, and I did make a comic on her, but we don't talk about it. I didn't even finish it. That's how bad it was. I mean, I've never finished my comics, but that's besides the point. This is what she originally looked like. I had a very big sketchbook that I had whenever I think I had this whenever I was like 10. And then reappears in sketchbook number 4. Started with him, and he's another old OC, but I'm not redesigning him today. And then it went to her. And I fell in love with this drawing, so I just ignore that. I just started drawing some more and more, and she like started appearing in literally almost every single drawing of mine. So we are going to be redesigning her because, let's be real, she's kind of boring. So let's just get right into it. So my setup might look a little different from like the normal, and that is because I have a new room. I have a door now. I did not before, so let me know if you guys want a room tour. Anyways, let's get to drawing. So for this, I struggled so much because I wasn't sure really what I wanted to draw. And I wasn't really sure like what I wanted her costume to look like. The only thing I knew is that I wanted to redesign Celeste, and I wanted her main color to be purple instead of a navy blue. I feel like she just outgrew the navy blue color, and plus it's kind of like a color that's really hard to match in my opinion. And I'm also just sucky at color schemes, but that's what I knew I wanted to do for her, and so I made a lot of mistakes in the first couple of sketches, but once I got my hand warmed up, I kind of like let loose and just drew like the camera wasn't on. That was another thing too, is that I was nervous because of my camera like being on, and I haven't filmed a video like this in a while. So I'm just gonna start talking about Celeste's old story. It was a comic that I got inspired to do by Over the Garden Wall, and it was called The Woods. And since I just finished Over the Garden Wall, like, themes are heavily inspired by it. So that's what I did with Celeste. So basically, hers was about a journey through these woods who had a like dark curse. She can't remember how she got there. She doesn't even really remember her name. So her little mushroom friend, which she meets later on in the comic, names her Celeste because she's wearing a witch costume or witch outfit, and he just is like, your name should be Celeste. And so they roll with it, and he tells her that there's this town which is not far from here, and she can get some help. And as you can see, the story isn't really thought out that well, but basically there was a spell to like bring her memory back and bring her back home, and whenever she wakes up, the twist is it was all a dream, and she was originally in a coma, and like she wakes up finally and like sees her mom and stuff, and you find out that like it was Halloween, which is why she was in a witch costume and stuff like that. So see, very inspired by Over the Garden Wall. I made this whenever I was like 10. So yeah, like the story, the character too, yes, but then I redesigned her whenever I was like 12 and still kind of stuck with the same theme, but I kind of wanted to do, like, I was on the verge of like changing it to a magic school, and so I tried that theme here with some of the, like, the one with the bangs and the star shirt. Like, I tried that theme kind of there, and I was like, not really feeling it. It's more of like modern time. But while drawing her, I decided that she would be an uptight princess from a magical realm. I'm not sure what the realm's going to be called yet, but she is an uptight princess from a magical realm who gets sent to Earth without any of her magical powers that she's used to, and it humbles her greatly, and there's a lot of opportunity for character growth. So I had to draw 2 sort of full bodies, because I say sort of full bodies because I got lazy and just like chopped her legs off the second time I drew her. So I decided it would be best to draw both of what she would look like in the magical realm, which is her home, and I had to draw her what she would look like on Earth, so that took like a lot of more like fun details away from her. Before I decided on that theme though, I really wanted to do something like where she goes to school in modern times and she finds a magic book of some sorts and it transports her to a magical realm. But in the end, I decided that an uptight princess with room for lots of character development would be way better. I'm not sure if I will actually do anything with this story, but it's always fun to like draw characters and like figure out their story, and like the more I draw characters, the more I can like get to know them better and stuff, and like kind of like feel out their personalities more. I don't know if that's just a me thing or not, but it's like my way of spending quality time with my characters and getting to know them better. And each new drawing is like a new discovery about them for me. So I will be drawing her a lot more, and that kind of happens with me where I'll like make a new character or revamp a character in this case, and then I'll just like get really obsessed with them and I want to know like everything about them, so then I draw them more and more and more, and basically my whole sketchbook is just filled with them. But I'm gonna try not to let that happen. And I cannot tell you how rusty I am on my anatomy. It is so bad. I need to do an anatomy study so bad before like my anatomy completely looks like janked up. But the way I was sitting at my desk, it was kind of an awkward angle for me. So I don't know. I just like the way my head was positioned and the way my sketchbook was positioned was like very opposite, so like some of the proportions might be a little off, and that's my bad, but I still think the drawing turned out good nevertheless. I want to keep some of the original storyline and like some of the original characters. Like I have this character Shark, who is going to be one of her best friends, which was that way originally, and I also have this character Rin, which was a love interest of hers, and I don't know if I'm still going to keep her, but I might. And then I had this little mushroom dude who I mentioned in the first one. He's kind of like the helper, so I think I'm going to take like the mushroom and make it a nanny figure sort of speech, and he or she will go to the mortal realm with her and help her figure out her daily life task, because it'll be a lot more challenging without magic for her. And I also want to include Shark in some way, either him being in the magical realm or in the mortal realm whenever she meets him at school or something. And I still want to like have a big mean boss, because in both of them I always wanted to have like this big mean boss battle between this like really magical creature and her like 3 friends or something like that. So I might keep the demon that I made for in the woods, but like tweak him a little bit and make him, I don't know, more better, because in the original comic that I made, he was really just a shadow. And he didn't really play that big of a role, if I'm being honest, even though he was the main antagonist. But we'll just see how this all plays out. I feel like often whenever I'm writing a story, I want to be done with it in like the first 2 weeks that I'm writing it. So that gives me a lot of room for error, and I always think my stories are perfect, which I know they're not. And so whenever I look back at them, I'm like, wow, this was really cringy, or this was really bad. Like, there's no character development, there's no emotions, like, there's no pizzazz, there's nothing. And that was definitely the case for the original story. And I want to take my time with this, so I might, like, work on this depending on how I feel, which right now I feel pretty good about this, and I really like the idea. But, I don't know, it all changes. And so for the main color I mentioned in the beginning, I wanted it to be purple, and that is what I did. Like, basically her whole theme is just purple, and I'm gonna make that like a family thing. Like, our whole family is gonna be purple. I don't know why. Purple is just a fun word to say, and I like the look of purple. So that's why she's purple. I feel like I said purple a lot. It doesn't really feel like a word. So I just really wanted purple. And originally I wasn't going to color this all because I didn't really feel like coloring, but as soon as I picked up that brown colored pencil, I was like, I want to color everything now. So that's exactly what I did. And also I learned that brown colored pencil blends really well with my pastel markers, which is nice for me. If you pay close attention to detail, you can see the subtle changes I made to her mortal outfit versus the big changes I made to her like magical outfit. And obviously the most biggest change is her dress. I wanted to give her a like whimsical fairy goddess vibe of a dress for her princess dress, which is what she wears in her magical realm, and I wanted to give her this casual, cute, dainty purple dress, which is inspired by a dress I actually own. The dress that I own is green though, not purple, so it makes me look like Tinkerbell, but I'm not complaining because I love Tinkerbell. But I wanted to give her that type of style dress for the mortal realm because I'm going to have it set in modern times, so there's going to be a lot of new technology and like challenges for her because she doesn't understand it because she never needed technology. Well, we technically don't need technology now, but I'm getting ahead of myself. And also, she has a star on her forehead, and that's like the center of her powers that she gets, and her whole family has it in like various places. Like her mother's gonna have it in her on her chest, her father's gonna have it on his arm, and I don't know if I want her to have siblings yet because I'm really bad with character interactions, and that's gonna be a lot of people for her to interact with, but we'll see. And then I made sure to not include that in her mortal form because I didn't want her to have like this big star in the middle of her forehead on Earth because people are going to poke around and ask questions. So I'm just going to have like it disappear basically. And also her hair, I changed her hair. I like chopped it all off basically to where it's just shoulder length for the mortal version of her versus the magical version of her. And I did this because like normally whenever you're watching like magical TV shows, like you have characters with long, flowy, beautiful hair, and not a lot of people have that long, flowy, beautiful hair, except for this one girl on YouTube. I will like put a screenshot of her hair up and oh my god, she's absolutely beautiful. But I just figured it would be like a subtle change to make her more like modernized instead of more like fancy and whimsical. And I also wanted to add like, okay, so I have an obsession with stars. So I wanted her powers to be like something with stars, and that's what I did. So I made sure to incorporate a lot of stars on her dress and such, and she has a star pendant necklace and obviously star in the center of her forehead. I feel like the main reason why I wanted to like redesign her character was because I kind of just outgrew her and her story, so I feel like revamping her will definitely be a new beginning for her, and hopefully I will draw her more and give this character some more love that she desperately needs. And that's Celeste's new-ish story. Almost thought out all the way, but not really. I really like how she turned out. So this is her. This is the final product, and I love her. I think she turned out so cute after failures. We finally got them, so I'm really happy with how they came out.